first-time duck hunter, first-time caller.
If you are woke or DEI, I suggest you check out.
Here they come.
Okay, hold up. They're coming around the front.
You ready?
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right, they're coming around. One more swing. This is going to be it. When they put their feet down, everybody get ready. I'm your host, Rick Schmidt.
I'm your host, Jeff Sukup.
Welcome to Generations Waterfowl. All right, cut them. Sit down.
Bud, you're on fire. Welcome back to 6 Mile Slough Outdoors. We're going to have a really good time tonight. We're with Ben Campbell and Jesse Pease from Deltawaterfowl, Kaskaskia chapter. We're going to hear about their banquet and everything that went on in the last couple weeks. Ben, tell us about your event.
Man, to say it was a barn burner would be an understatement. We set a goal a couple years ago of hitting a number, and we never dreamed it had been this year, but we hit that number and blew it out of the water. We can't thank our patrons enough that have supported us for 19 years now. And there is one thing I can say, if any of our patrons watch this that were there at our banquet, thank you again. And prayers could be used. Again, thank you. It was epic, I guess would probably be the best word to use.
I'm really disappointed I couldn't be there. Jesse, you got any more to add about the banquet?
A big thing, like Ben said, it was a huge success. Couldn't do it without the people that have stayed with us through all these years and the new ones that have showed up and want to stay, and even some people that have expressed wanting to join the committee. And we just keep growing and getting bigger and better, and it's all because of the people that follow us and come back every year.
You know, that people joining the committee is really a big thing, and I've seen that with other groups. You know, sometimes it just seems like the group just keeps getting smaller, and the problem that I've seen is getting kids involved in the committees. It just seems tough. They've all got their own stuff going on. Have you guys struggled with any of that?
I'd like to say we could say we struggled with kids, but this year my 10-year-old ran our youth raffle at our banquet.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were short-staffed because some of our committee members had prior engagements. One was working, two of them were working, and my 10-year-old, he helped us out at Squad Fest earlier in the year, and he's like, "Hey, I can run the youth raffle for you if you want." And I thought, man, Jesse, what do you think? Jesse's like, he did great at Squad Fest. Let's give it a try. And he had buddies come back there and help him every now and again wherever he got busy. But kids are a big part of our organization. This year, we give over, I want to say it was 48 or 49 guns to kids alone, long guns, not BB guns, not air rifles, but either 22s or 20 gauges. We give 48 or 49 of them away.
That is awesome. That is
Every kid
wonderful.
that had a hunter safety course that come through the door went home with a long gun of some kind.
That's fantastic.
One of our big struggles with the youth is they're growing up and spreading their wings. My son's one example. He's now in the Air Force, so he's not here to help us. Ben's older son is working out on the barges, so he wasn't back home for the banquet. So it's not that we don't have kids that want to be involved. It's they're growing up and have schedules that keep them doing other things. We had two young ladies, the Waterfowl girls, both went and shot at the ground the day of our banquet, and they showed up a little bit later than they planned, but they showed up and volunteered at the banquet, and they've been coming to the banquet since they were little and now volunteer when they can.
That's awesome. Now, Jesse, I'll address this to you. I know your little lazy nephew. I've been trying to get him involved in this stuff for quite some time, and he just doesn't have the time. So maybe you can put a little pressure on him to get involved with one of these organizations.
I'll reach out.
This is especially directed at you, Nate. We just want to make sure you know we want you on one of these committees.
I'm going to interrupt for just a second and tell Robbie, thank you for your service, kid.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service.
And all the veterans that'll hear this, not just the ones that have attended our banquet, but thank you for your service as well. I'm not just going to thank Robbie, I'm going to thank all the vets while we're at it.
Very much so.
That is awesome.
And we're proud of you, Robbie.
Ben, were you in the service?
No, sir.
Jesse?
Nope.
Bud?
Yes, sir.
I was too.
Hey, Bud is alive.
I thought he was taking that eating popcorn thing pretty serious, wasn't he?
I thought he was sleeping with his eyes open.
I can do that.
He has that look pretty often. Anyway, guys, let's talk about something really fun. Let's talk about hunting. How was last year?
Had its ups and its downs. That's Illinois for you, though.
Yep.
I don't care where you are.
Well, and we discussed this was a whole subject of a whole different podcast, that apparently everything just decided to fly on the other side of Missouri for about the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, are you guys saying the same thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but one thing we figured out 3 or 4 years ago now, I'm not sure off the top of my head how many years ago it was. I'm going to go toot our own horn on this one too a little bit. We started a project on the Kaskaskia where we planted millet up and down the river. And that first year, the conditions were perfect. We got the millet in just right. Water stayed down. Millet grew perfect. And when the water come up, the ducks that did show up in Illinois, they liked it, boy. The river had the best year they had in 20 years. They killed more ducks on the river that year than they did at Peabody and Union County combined. So you would think that if the state would actually use numbers like they say they do, maybe they could actually start doing some projects like that as well, instead of trying to take all the feed away from the ducks, and even just using moist soil, because obviously moist soil does work, because it worked on the river that year. We've been trying to do it since, and the water's got us 2 out of the 3, or 3 out of the 3, 2 or 3 years, I don't remember how many it was, but last year we got a heck of a planting in, and then about 2 weeks after we got it planted, the water jumped. Everything was 6 to 10 inches high, and it drowned everything out pretty well. But that year that we had the good planting, the cool part about it was, which we didn't even think about whenever we created the program, was the ducks that were there in the spring. There was more ducks on the Kaskaskia River than I've ever seen. Every cut you went into that had millet in it was full of ducks.
Oh, that's awesome.
And everybody's like,
Helping them out, getting them ready for the
it
nesting.
don't matter in the spring, but it does matter, because a duck with fat on it whenever it goes to nest is going to raise a better brood than a duck with no fat on it whenever it goes to nest.
And that's one of the biggest things we've discussed for years. That's one of the biggest issues, especially along the river. There is no food anymore naturally. After the big floods, the record floods, it killed out all the mass-producing trees for the most part. Will you find a pecan tree or an oak tree here and there? Sure, but nothing like there used to be. And even prior to those, when the river was first channelized, kind of like Carlisle, there were certain places, it was green timber.
Yeah.
And they were still producing acorns for a couple of years and stuff, and that hunting was fantastic. Well, of course, that all died out, and that's the stumps everybody complains about hitting with their boats nowadays.
Yep.
But then when the floods killed out all the other oak trees and stuff, there's just no food. They don't eat maples and willows.
No, they sure don't, do they?
And so some sort of supplemental food goes a long ways. Farming practices have changed where the crops are out sooner. Any corn and stuff that does get dropped, it's sprouted by the time the ducks get here.
And there ain't much of it that hits the ground.
No, not with the newer combines and stuff. Not
Or in the bottoms now, they till it all under.
Yep.
It's crazy. I mean, we lease
It's a desert.
16 or 1,800 acres in the bottoms to waterfowl hunt, and within a week of having the corn out, they've got it turned under, and you couldn't even tell it's a cornfield. It's like bare dirt.
Yeah.
And they wonder off why their ditches and waterways they got to trench them every year.
Well, that's why there's nothing holding it.
There's too much runoff.
Yep. I completely agree. Now, what you said earlier about the state taking care of things, let's be honest. It's the state of Illinois. They're not going to take care of anything. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They might care about Bud. I'm not sure. But anyway,
That's for other reasons.
If you're not from Chicago, they don't care about you. They don't care about this whole end of the state. So worrying about whether or not we're happy with the duck hunting, I can guarantee you, Pritzker that's never even crossed his mind.
No.
So if we're going to actually have habitat for birds and places for ducks to stay, Deltawaterfowl, Ducks Unlimited, that's who's going to have to buck up and actually make this happen. I mean, do you guys agree with that?
I totally agree. One thing we are lucky here that I know some other guys have issues with is we do have a good site superintendent that manages the Kaskaskia River State Fish and Wildlife Area. Mick Middleton's been great to us. I could call him and say, "Hey Mick, what do you think about this?" Every now and again he'll be like, "Ben, you're crazy," but a lot of the ideas he's like, if you can do it, especially if it's on the river. Now, dry lake, that's his baby. That's a whole nother ball game, and I get it. The union guys can get there and work it. It's easier for them to do. We don't want to step on anybody's toes. So if they call us and say, hey, we need help brushing blinds or whatever, we're there. But whenever it comes to the river, we do our best to try and help all the duck hunters. And if anybody reaches out, we'll tell them where we plant the millet. It's not a secret. There's no secret planting. It's all state ground that you can access by boat, or I wish I could say walk-in, but there's not many walk-in areas that you can get in and hunt on the river.
Unless you know somebody with the private ground that butts up to it, then you've got that, but that's few and far between.
Well, I hope these guys are, at least coming back and helping you do some of this work.
We have a lot of guys come out and help. It was pretty incredible whenever we used to have meetings we didn't get to this year because this summer's been a whirlwind with stuff going on with the chapter and everything else. But we have a lot of people reach out and help plant. There was one time I think we had 10 boats on the river planting millet last year on one day.
That's awesome. And that's how it should be.
Yes.
Especially if you see so many people that are taking and they don't want to put anything back.
I will say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but MVDH has been a big partner on that project as well. I can't leave them guys out. It's a good group of guys over there as well.
Yep, I know Scott Hushley. He's a super good guy. And matter of fact,
He
at
just
Squad
got-
Fest, I went and hung out with those guys for a little bit.
Sure.
I think I saw today Scott Hushley just got elected into the state Outdoors Hall of Fame or something
Correct,
along those
correct.
lines.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Scott.
Congratulations,
Yep, absolutely.
Congratulations,
Good job,
Scott.
Scott.
Also been talking about Doug's place to stay and the food and all that. Why don't you let people know the amazing program that you do for Waterloo, the shop class, the high school, about building the wood duck boxes? I think that's amazing what you do for the youth and conservation. Explain to people what you guys do with that program as well, besides planting the food plots.
2 years ago, there was a shop teacher at Waterloo that I had went to high school with, and he graduated a year ahead of me. We played football together. He reached out to me because he knew that I was big in Delta and asked me, he said, hey, I had a teacher reach out that wants some wood duck boxes, and I have some grant money coming from Monroe County Electric, and I'd like to build some. I said, and me and Jesse talked, and I said, what do you think about making a donation as well and getting some wood duck boxes made for us to use for projects and whatever? And Jesse's like, I think it's a great idea. So we made a donation that first year, and we had talked about trying to get a field trip together where the kids could go that first year, but the timing, it was just too short a notice to be able to get it done. So the second year, we made another donation, and they used the grant money they got as well to build some more wood duck boxes. I think we had 32 wood duck boxes that they built for us all together.
Something like that.
And then we were able to, there was 32 kids as well that come out with us this early spring, late winter, early spring. And we were able to take them to a piece of state ground and put those wood duck boxes up. And we had 2 game wardens that come out as well and give a talk. And one game warden went with each group and talked to them about the husbandry of the woods and the ducks and the squirrels and the types of trees. And there were several of them kids in that class that had never even stepped in the woods, had no idea what a wood duck really was or what one looked like. And we were fortunate enough that day, most all the kids got to see at least one wood duck. The wood ducks were thick in there already. And it's just one other way that we're trying to help bring more ducks into the Kaskaskia River bottoms. And hopefully this program can keep going. And I know that we've had several other committee members reach out, wanting to try to get a hold of other schools and get the program going in other local high schools as well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day.
idea. Now, in part of that program, I guess then you have to go back every year and clean them out and start over. Is that how that works?
They say that, but we've kind of gone back and forth. Some of them, if we can get to them, we'll check them, but I always figure who goes out and checks the hollow spots in the trees.
Yeah.
We actually save some wood duck boxes at my place all the time, keep a few on hand, might only be half a dozen, 2 or 3, whatever, and we get some of the record flooding. We'll go out with the boats and hang them as high in the trees as we can because we know there's little chance of them getting flooded out.
Gotcha.
And nobody ever goes back and checks those. So.
The reason I ask is I've helped people do that before.
Sure.
And you get some real surprises opening up them wood duck boxes.
Absolutely.
You know, I found one that must have had 60 eggs. It was just a dump box. They were all, you know, whoever wasn't going to hang around was just dropping them off in there. But then I opened one, and Mr. No Shoulders was in there, and I was standing on a four-wheeler. So when you opened the door, I was just about right here. So he was right about face,
Oh, boy.
right about face height. That was the fun of cleaning out wood duck boxes.
I've heard of guys finding all kinds of things, hornet's nests,
Oh, yeah.
beehives.
Absolutely. There's no good deed that goes unpunished.
Right. But yeah, that was a great deal overall. The kids had a ball. Like Ben said, they actually got to see wood ducks while we were out there doing it, so they got
That's
an idea
fantastic.
of what we were doing it for. And then we fed the kids lunch at the lock and dam and had a tour scheduled for them to tour the lock down there.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
The lockmaster was excited about it to start with. Timing couldn't have been more perfect if we'd have tried to plan it that way. We were just wrapping up lunch, getting ready to take them over to the dam, and here come a towboat with barges getting ready to lock through. So the lockmaster had the door open, waiting to rush them all in, and got them out there, and they got to see the whole process of a barge and
That's awesome.
everything locked through. So it was a really good day overall.
I've done that once myself, and that was really cool to see.
Heck yeah.
Bud, you got any more questions?
No. Speaking with the schools, what kind of requirements would the school need? I'm currently talking to where my oldest son graduated, but I have a youngest son at Jabot High School, and they have an FFA teacher in a program there. I would like to try to get this program there, but the problem with some of these schools, they don't have a shop class, this and that. If some other schools are watching, they like to get in that program, what requirements or what things can the school do to help contribute to that if they don't have a shop class or are unable to do that?
That I don't know if they don't have a shop class. I don't know if other groups like FFA or 4-H or any of them would do those kind of projects.
Could they
As part of their-
volunteer to help?
They could absolutely
Kids can
volunteer
always
to.
reach out to volunteer,
Okay.
that's
Help.
for sure.
Okay, if they can help you, do
With
something
whatever we're
else.
doing, brushing blinds.
Right.
And another thing that, going back to Mick, I talked to Mick after our banquet the other day, and for those people that attended the banquet, they saw it, but we give away a Bayou to View skid blind.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And after I seen it, me and Jesse kind of talked a little bit, and I'm like, there's several spots at Dry Lake that they've got wood blinds and whatnot, and they're always having to replace boards, and because the lumber
Sure.
nowadays ain't worth a dang either.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Mick and I said, would you be interested in trying one or two just to see how they work for a year or two? And if they work, then we can keep adding, because they're not gonna need replaced near as often as the wood blinds and whatnot. So I'm gonna meet with Mick here in the next couple of weeks and see if we can't get one bought or two and get them donated over there and let them try them out this year and see how they go.
That sounds fantastic. I hope everybody appreciates all your hard work, because obviously you guys are out there making it happen.
Everybody thinks, oh, it's easy, let's join Deltawaterfowl. It's super easy. I mean, I gotta say my committee it's not a committee, it's a family.
Yep.
We spent 3 weekends in a row together from Squad Fest, then we had the expo, then we had our banquet, and it's dedication. I mean, you can't be a weekend warrior and succeed on this committee. You'll get pushed out the door because we're go, 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 go. We've always got something going on, dang near year round.
And that's one thing, you weed out people, they weed themselves out, basically. Some of them come in, they hear about like being pro staff, well, they think being part of a committee, you're gonna get a bunch of freebies and a lot of perks. Well, they come in and find out that, no, you're volunteering and it's a lot of work. Well, pretty soon you just don't hear from those people anymore. And we have volunteers of all levels. We have our core committee that, like Ben said, family, 3 weekends in a row. Well, we have some of our family members. We have one lady that drives up from Kentucky. She drives 3 hours to come. She works our banquet every year. That's what she does.
That's the only time I see her.
Yep.
We've got a couple others the same way. They say, we suck at selling tickets, but we'll be there at the banquet. Or if you've got other projects, let us know. If we can be there, we will. And not necessarily at every committee meeting, but they stay informed with our Delta chat group that we've got going. And so we've got them at all levels, but without them, you can't survive. And as far as positive feedback, our banquet was the best positive feedback we could get when the people come out like they do to support the chapter because of what they see and what we do. that's the best feedback we can ask for.
Now, how can people get in contact with you and be a part of the family or the community with the chapter?
They can look me up on Facebook privately to my own Facebook page, Ben Campbell, or they can look up our Facebook page, our Delta chapter Facebook page, which is Kaskaskia River Delta Waterfowl chapter, I believe.
I think it's Deltawaterfowl, Kaskaskia.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, it's Delta Waterfowl Kaskaskia River chapter, and they can shoot a message there. I get all those messages as well.
Very well.
As we were talking earlier, we give away all them guns to kids. We were short several guns, so I got all those kids' names and phone numbers. And whenever I was calling the dads to let them know that the guns were in, I had 3 dads say, "What can we do to donate a gun or 2 next year? Because what you guys do is incredible. Nowhere else we go do they give that many guns away and take care of the kids the way you guys do, between your guns and the prizes or whatever you want to call it that you put on your youth raffle table. It's second to none for any banquets that we go to."
You guys definitely put on a good show. There's no doubt about that. You know, I think the best thing I ever heard from somebody, and they were contemplating volunteering. They said, "Well, I'd like to be on the committee because I want to win something too."
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I was walking through our banquet this year and they called my name and said that I had won something, and I looked at, I don't remember if it was Jesse or one of the other guys, and I'm like,
To me.
"How?" I said, "I haven't bought a single ticket or put my name on a ticket." Well, I sponsor a table for my mom and everybody every year, and my nephew that helps us out at the banquet, he seen the raffle tickets on a cup and just grabbed one. There was 2 of them.
Yeah.
And wrote my name on it and put it in the drawing, and that was how I won it. Somebody else was like, "That's rigged." I said, "How's it rigged if I didn't even know my ticket was in the drawing?"
You know what? And I'm sure you guys get the same thing we get.
We hear it all the
The
time.
people on the committee, you want to know how they win so much stuff? They spent more money than everybody else. That's the bottom line of it.
And it's not just spending money on raffle tickets, it's donations that we make out of our own pockets
Yeah,
to make
absolutely.
sure our banquet's a success. I mean, we underwrite a lot of stuff ourselves and we don't put our names on it. We don't ask for recognition for it. We just do it to help make the chapter a success and build it to what it's become. Yeah, we've been very fortunate the last couple of years with some other projects that we have that give us the ability to underwrite a lot of stuff as a chapter and not need donations for it per se. Yeah, we have, but it's not just that. It's stuff that we all generally donate at least 1 youth gun a person, and it's not because we ask everybody to donate a youth gun. It's because they're like, "That's amazing that we can do it. Let's keep the youth involved and let's keep moving forwards." And our theory is, if we can, we give that kid a $300 gun per se. That's going to make their dad really happy. That's $300 you don't have to spend on a gun.
Yep.
But it's going to make him more likely to buy raffle tickets or buy something off the live auction, and the money comes back.
It does.
So, and to see all them kids smiling at the end of that youth raffle
I guess you
was.
got a group picture of all of them?
No, I thought about it after, but next year we're going to have to get all the kids with all their guns in one picture and take a group picture. That's one picture I wish we would have got this year, because it'd have been a framer, because there was a lot of happy kids
I
there.
would sure think
Even the
so.
littler kids that only got BB guns, every one of them kids I handed a BB gun to, they were smiling from ear to ear.
Heck yeah. One of the things we do to not hear so much about the committee always wins or whatever, we pick kids out of the crowd at random. None of us ever draw a raffle ticket.
well,
We
yeah.
pull them kids up
Yeah.
there, and them kids draw it right there on the spot in front of everybody. We
Yep.
did the same thing at Squad Fest with
Well, you know what
our
I'm saying.
raffles
There's,
over
there's
there. but-
always
Oh,
one
yeah, you
sour
hear that
person
kind
in
of
the crowd
stuff.
that didn't win something, and now it's fixed because
We-
they didn't get it.
We generally, I mean, I hear, "Oh, it's rigged," it's buddies saying it. It's
Well, yeah.
not the general public, and this is the second year in a row I really haven't heard a single complaint out of anybody. I mean, there was a person or two that said our youth raffle took too long. I don't know how you can give away 45 guns at one time and it not take a minute.
Well, maybe next year just have a free for all. All right, kids, come up and grab one.
We have a plan to kind of rearrange
move
things
some
and
stuff around
streamline
and
it a little bit.
Streamline it a fuzz, but if
That
that's
youth
the biggest
raffles.
complaint we have, I can live with it. 'Cause
Yep.
I'm sorry, the kids are the foundation of our chapter, And if we don't keep these kids involved in waterfowl hunting, what are we really doing?
True story.
Well, waterfowl hunters are dwindling off left
Correct.
and right now, and a lot of that's just because there's nowhere to go. You know, there's not a whole lot of public access in this area, and there's let's face it, if you went and knocked on 10 doors around here, you're probably going to get told no 10 times.
Right.
You know, and unless you know somebody. That nature of the beast. Now, I don't understand how you go up to North Dakota and every other door you knock on, yeah, go on out there. Hell, I don't mind. Just a difference in the people.
We touched on earlier how the duck flight has changed. It's kind of tough to get young kids involved and keep them involved and really want to go. It's hard to go out there and show them success.
That is a
Whether it's
fact.
public, private, whatever right now, it's been tough the last several years.
Well, and we had a podcast about this over the last 50 years, how much stuff has really changed. I mean, if you wanted to go rabbit hunting, how far is the distance in between rabbits these days? Holy cow. I mean, unless you're going to go hunt in a subdivision,
Right.
you know, they're not there
That
anymore.
all goes back to predator control, predator management.
Absolutely.
We've been trapping coyotes and coons on my lease for, I think this is the 3rd year now. And last winter, I had more rabbits on trail camera at times than I did deer, but they're all at night. That's the other thing. I don't know if it's because there is so many predators now, but you don't hardly see a rabbit in the daylight anymore. They
Well,
become damn near nocturnal.
And some of the predators, there's nothing you can do anything about.
Right.
You know, and maybe DDT needs to make a comeback for a little while.
And it's hard to get trappers involved when there's no price in furs.
No,
I trap for people sometimes for nuisance stuff here and there. I do it. The guy we lease our blind from, beavers dam up the culverts and stuff all the time, so I trap them for him. Well, I almost always end up with some incidental otters because they run the
Yep.
same place as
Yep.
the beavers.
Yep.
I hate to waste the things, but they're not worth anything.
No.
I don't know what to do with them. I've given some of them away to people that want to play with them for taxidermy or
Yep.
that they want the hides, but what do you do with all of them?
Yeah, Dad's got one sitting on the table in his living room.
I kept the very first one that I trapped, but hell, I couldn't tell you how many I've trapped over the past several years. We see them all the time. Last year, I don't know if I had traps out for 3 nights or 4 nights. I was able to run traps in the morning before work, so I put a few out. I know I was less than 200 yards from my door. Most of them were within 100 yards of my door. In those few nights, I trapped 8 raccoons, 6 possums, and 2 red fox, all in dog-proof coon traps.
Yep. That's my favorite.
If there's that many right there, and you're even catching fox in those, how many are out there if you explore a little farther?
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly. If you find somebody who traps nowadays, they do it because they like to do it.
Yes.
I do it because my boys love it. My 10-year-old, he has ate up with it. He's like, when's trapping season start? He asked me that over the weekend. When can we start trapping coons again? I mean, for one, it's a good time to teach gun safety and the proper places for shot placement and everything else as well.
Yep. No.
And there's some success and keeps him engaged.
Correct. I mean, he giggles like a schoolgirl whenever, especially if there's a skunk. I have no idea what his fascination with skunks are because I cringe every time I see a skunk, but not him. He's like, yes, a skunk. And I'm like, no, buddy, we don't want those. I mean, we need those as well, but preferably I'd rather it be coons and possums.
Yep.
Because one thing we've noticed, my lease is on the dry side of the levee at the confluence of the Kaskaskia and the Mississippi, and we got a pretty good block of timber there. And you'd think being there in the bottoms, the turkeys would be plentiful. In the 5 years I've had that lease, I've had 2 pictures of turkeys in the spring, and that's it.
You know, I generally don't see them in the bottoms. They're all on the bluff and.
They're all on the wet side of the levee on us.
Well, yeah. There's plenty of that too.
I don't know why they like the wet side of the levee. So the only thing I can think of is bigger blocks of timber.
They can jump off the bluff in Missouri, and never flap their wings, and be on the river side of that levee.
Yep.
Absolutely.
When I used to hunt on the river, I mean, I saw it.
I've seen them not so much on the Mississippi, but on the Kaskaskia, fly back and forth like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
wasn't nothing.
And it kind of cracked me up because they fly just like they walk. They'll all be in a big single file line. One goes, then the next goes, then the next goes.
One thing I will add, we were talking about youth duck hunts and whatever. We used to do a youth duck hunt every year, and the hunting is so hit and miss with youth duck season anymore. We'd be lucky to kill one bird per the 2 blinds that we had out there towards the end. And so we got to talking and decided, let's try a youth snow goose hunt there. If we could get one good valley, I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to kill more than 1 or 2 birds, hopefully.
Yeah.
And we partnered with Willow Creek Waterfowl up there in Carlisle. They've been very generous to us. Last year was our first year going up there, and the kids were very successful and even got lucky enough to kill a band that day.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I whenever the guide come back with that band, I don't know who was happier, the guide that the kids killed it or all the kids in the blind. Their guides were first class, top-notch guides. And I mean, all the pictures that we have and of the kids, every kid's smiling. There's no kid sitting there with his head down, no kids looking at their phones. I don't know that I've seen a kid look at their phone the entire 6 or 8 hours, whatever it was we were in the blind that day. And that's saying something. If you can get 6 or 8, anywhere from 12 to 18-year-old kids out in the blind, and you don't ever see one of them unless they're taking a picture, looking at their phones, playing a game, or on Facebook or Snapchat, whatever, it's pretty impressive. And they were all intuitive and asking questions to the guides, and it was an amazing experience that finally come to fruition, because we've been doing that snow goose hunt for 6 or 7 years, and finally, and it was probably the worst weather we've ever had for a youth snow goose hunt
Right.
that day.
Talked about
We almost
rescheduling.
canceled it because it was 20 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour north wind, and snow geese don't generally like to fly whenever it's 20
No,
degrees and a
no.
10-mile-an-hour north wind. But
Yeah, they
we-
like to fly north.
Right. No, south, whenever they got that 10-mile-an-hour north wind
You're
and it's
right,
that
you're
cold,
right,
they're
you're right.
trying to get the heck out of here. They're like, shit's freezing up again.
Yep.
Let's go. But we had birds over us that entire day, and it was, like I said, it was one for the books for sure.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, do you guys still do a veterans hunt?
We do.
Okay, well, tell us a little about the veterans hunt.
This year we're going up. This will be our 3rd year for the Veterans Hunt. Should be the 4th, but 2 years ago, the weather got so bad we were supposed to go to Kansas, and they were calling for a blizzard in Kansas. And if you've never been on the roads in Kansas, when it storms, and if there's a 3-mile-an-hour wind, there's going to be 5-foot snow drifts on them roads. And they were calling for 8 to 10 inches of snow, and we decided to cancel
Wow.
that week of the hunt just because, for everybody's safety more than anything. And they were calling for below 0 temperatures with 30-mile-an-hour winds with wind chills into the -20s and -30s. So I made the executive decision, we're not going. Nobody's health is worth going on a veterans hunt. And this year we're going up to Rochester, Minnesota to hunt up there, taking 6 or 8 guys up there. I can't remember how many. We drew them at our banquet. Mr. Dwayne Durr's been guided up there for several years, and he got it all lined up for us. They've been very generous to us as well, and looking forward to it. Ought to be a heck of a hunt. Taking these guys back to their roots. A lot of these guys have waterfowl hunted around here for, some of them longer than I've been alive. I'd go up there and try and chase some giant honkers and
Very cool.
let them get back on some dark geese again, because God knows we don't get to kill them
No,
around
we
here
don't.
very
We don't get
often
them down
anymore.
here. You know, you used to have to drive 2 hours south if you wanted to kill a Canada goose. And now you got to drive about 4 hours north, because that's about where they stop.
True story.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back from our studio break. We're here with Jesse and Ben, the guys from Delta.
Oh, hey, look, Rick decided to join us tonight.
Hey Rick. Hey Rick. What's up, buddy? Where you been?
Tell me, what's going on?
It's podcast night. We're doing the podcast with the Deltawaterfowl Kaskaskia chapter.
We talked about this last week.
Remember we told you all about it?
Oh, crap. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Can I sit down?
Yeah, absolutely. Better late than never, right?
Might have forgot.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you could finally make it.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Now it's a party.
No, it's not really a party.
It's not a party till somebody spills something, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what are you talking
Well,
about?
what about taking out a light? Because Bud did that
He
on our
did that
break.
earlier. He
Yeah.
did that earlier.
You spilled something?
I tripped.
Really?
It's normal.
Yeah, the light about went to light heaven, but He saved it on his fall.
They say go to the light, and I did.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets the bill for that light. That's broken.
Oh,
Go into the
no.
light,
You've been
bud.
working
Go
for
into the
nothing
light.
for the last month, bud. Sorry.
Don't tell that. Don't tell that to my wife.
Hey, Jesse. Hey, Ben.
Mrs. Bud, please don't watch this
Glad you joined
podcast.
It's gofundbud.com.
.com.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Yep.
about that. Yes,
There's
please.
a GoFundMe account for him because every time he messes up,
His wife's gonna throw him out.
his wife throws him out. So
I
there's
thought
a
maybe that was for his
GoFundMe
turkey
account
vest.
for him.
Yeah, any
Obsession.
donations, food, cans, whatever, I'll take.
Anywhere to sleep, anywhere like that.
Yeah.
Sleeping
I did
bags.
notice a nice dog cot back there.
I'll
bud.
take
It's-
that, too.
It's an extra large. You might fit on it.
I caught him peeking in there one night, and I'm like, "You're not going to fit in there."
He'd have to curl up in the fetal position, but he's been there before.
Too many times, but
Anyway, guys, back to the podcast. We were going to talk about some of the companies that have been kind and donated and generous. I know you guys have been to the last couple big expos, shopping and talking to everybody there. So who's been good?
One thing I want to add before we start on that, I had a brain fart there at the end of the first session, but Premier Flight Guide Service is where we're taking our veterans on the hunt this year.
Okay.
In case anybody's wondering, reach out to Dean. He's great people.
Awesome.
Get up there and shoot some honkers, have some fun. They also do snow goose hunts in Arkansas and Missouri. If you don't want to chase big honkers, go chase some snow geese, or I think they do some duck hunts in northern Missouri as well.
Ben,
But
thanks for setting that up. That's very honorable.
Yeah,
thank
all
you.
the vets were very receptive this year. Whenever we said we're going to Minnesota, their eyes all got real big, like, why are we going to Minnesota? I said, when's the last time you guys got to get in on a goose hunt, a good goose hunt around here? They're like, oh, heck, it's been 20 years since we had a good goose hunt. I said, well, that's why we're going to Minnesota, so we can go chase some migrators and actually see some geese.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Not
That is-
just the local 15-pack that lives at the cemetery or the park.
Yeah.
They have names. I give them all names,
Yeah.
that live at the cemetery. Well,
Peter, Paul, Mary, John, Ringo.
just to add into there, so you know what we're up to, we auctioned a hunt also for veterans, and we actually have 2 Purple Heart recipients going to attend our hunt.
That's incredible.
Yep. and
Thank
they're
you guys
all,
for
they're
that.
all both of them are from St. Louis, and it's when I met the first gentleman, Purple Heart recipient, and he told me his story. It was moving. I mean, it was just flat moving. And then he said, there's a second one of us here in St. Louis that was part of that whole mess. And I said, really? And he got him on the phone right here in our showroom floor, and we were all on the phone together. And we said, would you like to come hunt? And he said, man, I wouldn't even know what to say, thank you. And I said, well, we're going to do it. And, Bud's a veteran on our team, and he's going to be part of that hunt. Jeff's a veteran. He's going to be part of that hunt. And
Can you get a box for Jeff to stand on so he can see out of
actually,
the blind?
Well, the blinds are built for short guys.
Yeah,
you stick out like a sore thumb. I'm just right.
So all the duck blinds in our place are built for short, stout fellers like me and Jeff. So we cruise on in pretty easily. But
I have to wear a hard helmet on these.
That's not just in
Well,
the blind,
he
though, bud.
wears a bump helmet most of the day anyway.
Yes, go fund Bud. I could use a new hard helmet. GoFundBud.com.
I know we touched on this a little bit earlier and whenever I thanked Robbie, but we started doing this veterans hunt before Robbie enlisted, or before we even knew Robbie was going to enlist. But now that Robbie's enlisted, it's made it mean a little bit more to me, and I'm sure a whole lot more to Jesse, because now he's raising a enlisted military son as well, or raised an enlisted military son as well. And Robbie's cream of the crop, boy.
well,
We're lucky that he's part of our committee. We're lucky to know him, period. He had a heck of an experience the other day, that's for sure.
I'm learning more about how this works, and fortunately, we're able to accommodate this, which is what kind of makes us all happy. But most places are not able to accommodate vets to come hunt. They don't have the opportunity that they should have. They should have that opportunity.
Correct.
And, I think, at a minimum, as duck hunters, we owe it back to these guys to help them get an experience.
If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to have this podcast
That's exactly
tonight.
right. And, I say this all the time on our podcast. Duck hunting or waterfowl hunting is an experience. It's a true experience from the moment of sunrise to the moment you quit. it's an experience. And for people that have never got to do it, to see the things we see every single day and take for granted, and they get to see this, they're like, this is incredible. Sun rose over a water hole with decoys, and there were ducks in the dark coming through, and at sunlight there were ducks, and you're cooking breakfast all morning in the duck blind, and you're laughing and hooting and hollering, and you're riding in big ATVs, and that's an experience that I think the veterans are more than entitled to and should have, you know, that we do all the time.
And I could tell you, being on 2 veterans hunts now, that sitting back and listening to the veterans talk to one another and meet guys that they might not have ever met and share stories and
It's incredible.
whatnot. It is, touching's not the right word to use. Incredible, yes. I mean, I can't explain it in words
Yeah.
on how moving it truly is.
Well,
You know,
we're going to try real hard. We're very, all of us sitting in this podcast, I believe, are very fortunate people. You know, we live lives that are great in our world. We can hunt when we want to hunt. We can do what we want to do. We can take care of our farms. We can take care of our sloughs, our leases. We get to do all that as freedom. That's part of our freedom. And, you know, you guys have paid the price to keep us to be able to do that. And the least we can do is give back.
You know, as a veteran that is a disabled veteran, I am, and various, you know, service-connected disabilities and things like that. I think it's amazing what you guys do for our brothers and sisters that have served and all that. So we thank you guys for the support, helping us, and a lot of people don't realize these hunts are actually a therapy for the veterans. It's a chance for us to get out there, get away from whatever we're dealing with at that time. So we thank you guys for all the support. Without the support, you know, it'd be extra harder. So just keep in mind, a lot of these hunts is therapy for veterans. So we appreciate that for thinking of us and backing us up and supporting us.
I'm sure I could speak for Jesse on this as well. There's no thanks needed, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to have the banquet we have and help all the people that we help. And we can't thank you guys enough.
Well, you know, we spent a couple weekends doing these different conventions for the store, and we've been pretty focused on trying to find product lines that fit American-made and veteran-owned companies, and we've picked up quite a few that are veteran-owned and American-made that'll be here in our store. And I think the more I'm around this, I'm starting to feel old. In this industry, I'm starting to feel old, and that
Yeah,
scares
your
me.
hat's got a little too much bend for it for the duck hunting age we're
Yeah, I know, right?
True
And, you know,
story.
every season, I know my dad has told me it slips by so fast you can't believe it, and I'm starting to realize that. And I mean, maybe 56 isn't that old in this sport, but it's pretty old when you think, you know what, I was 19 or 20 in a blink of an eye doing this for fun. I've been watching this market pretty close too, and it's evolving really fast. And I think waterfowl's becoming not only just a sport, but it's becoming a lifestyle. I think the lifestyle is trendy, it's cool. I don't know what you guys are seeing at your dinners and events and banquets, but I you know, every time I see people come in the store that are younger generation, they're decked out in a Sitka outfit or a coat or a vest, and they've
I
got
take
some.
offense to that.
Yeah, I know, and I take offense to it all the time. And,
We'll get you a new
you know,
hat.
we'll get you a new hat. That's
It's
okay.
the only hat that I can find that'll fit though, because
Jeff,
I have a really big
get
head.
him a
If it
hat
wasn't for his
tonight,
fat
okay?
head, he
Get
might
a
be able
hat
to
on.
wear
Oh, I have one right here.
No, not that hat, Jeff. No, Jeff. No.
Excuse me while I run to the bathroom real quick.
Ben, you can throw that. It's
I
fine.
think we can do better.
I got a couple hats for you guys. I got them picked out for you.
I think we're starting to see a pretty cool evolution that I didn't believe I would see, but it's changing. These younger guys that are hunting differently than all of us, they're making it a lifestyle, and they're willing to invest in the lifestyle. And we got a lot of people coming in here that are buying things that I don't think I could have bought at their age, you know, back then. And I think as we move through these times, like right now, these companies, they have challenges. They all have challenges because they've bought from China and overseas and things like that. And, you know, they do what they have to do to take care of their business, but we have to remember as customers that they're Americans running that business. They had to do what they had to do, and we need to help figure out how to support them. And So, you know, between Jeff and Bud and I, we've decided to divide up who we do products with between totally American-run companies,
those are
totally
small.
domestic-made, and on top of that, totally veteran-made. And we've made some good choices here. And
Absolutely.
you know, I think we're going to see a pretty big shift, especially in this area. I mean, this is a weird area because it's really not just Illinois; it's St. Louis and Missouri and people like that. And I think more and more, Missouri is getting overcrowded for duck hunting, and it's becoming too big of a club thing, where the people that want to go there, they get to watch ducks but not kill ducks.
Right.
I have a lot of guests coming to our farm that are Missouri residents, and they come to see us because it's different in Southern Illinois. It's not. You go to St. Charles and places like that; they're wonderful, by the way. But I mean, it's a duck blind every couple hundred yards
The
for
heritage in
thousands.
southern Illinois for duck hunting runs very, very deep.
Yes,
Yes, it does.
it runs very, very deep. And you know, I don't know if most of you know this. I mean, I think Bud knows this, but I know that Ben and Jesse don't. Jeff and I actually met in 1981 in a duck blind as little kids
Yeah.
together.
That's the year I was
That's
born.
awesome.
What? I would send you a signal, but I can't today.
He's used to being number one.
You are number one, but that's actually how we met, was in a duck blind in a lake that we all know about locally here, and we grew up together doing this and watching this change over time and watching our dads become the old guys, and now all of a sudden we're the old guys and our kids are the young guys. And you know, sitting around bullshitting one day, we said, well, we kind of like doing this, man. Why don't we do it for a living? And the three of us said, well, maybe not a living, but how about a hobby? And I said, well, how about that? So we decided to do this store you guys are sitting in. And
Growing up in Smithton, I've prayed for this for 40 years.
well, you know what? I have hoped you would say that, because that was our hope too. Our hope was that people rooted in this tradition would go, we need a store, not the internet. We need somewhere we can walk in and touch. We need somewhere we can come in and talk duck stories, look at equipment, buy locally, you know, put your faith in the people that work there. And I don't knock Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's. They're a big box store. You guys know when you walk in there, you're not going to get anybody that really understands that product. And who more to understand the product than actual duck hunters? And not only are we selling it when we're here, but our clients that are here are deeply rooted duck hunters. And in walks a guy who's maybe never done it, and one of our clients talks to him and says, this is why you want to do this. And you know, our clients are our salespeople too. And you know, we were hoping to get you guys to come to this podcast that these two conveniently forgot to remind me about tonight that I forgot.
I don't think they forgot to remind you.
You know, it's possible. I mean, I have memory lapses from time to time, especially when I'm around Jeff. But
I can't imagine why.
you know,
Jeff has
blackouts.
that effect on people.
I have done that to a great many people.
I think our goal, and I hope this is true, our goal is to genuinely talk to you guys that run these chapters and say, will you help support a local business in this state that can help our hobby thrive? Can you help us support that?
Not to interrupt, but I could tell you that while I was walking around as people were getting settled and as they come into our banquet, and we had put all of the coupons and business cards that you guys would give us because you were gracious donors to our banquet as well. But talking about, look at this, we got 5% off at 6 Mile Slough. We need to get in there and check it out. So hopefully a lot of them guys kept them and come in. I know one kid's already been in here that's part of our committee and bought a turtle box.
Yes, sir.
You know
And
what?
he
Yes,
is
sir.
tickled to death with it. And
Yes,
thank you guys for helping him out on it as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you ever seen that? I mean, as a side note, you ever seen those things actually work? Have you ever like used one?
Yeah, they're incredible.
That is
I threw mine in the pool on Saturday, and Neil Gifford's son was swimming in the pool when I threw
Hopefully
it
you
in there.
didn't hit it with him because
No,
he
no,
probably
I
weighs
didn't.
more than Robert.
Well, when I threw it in there, Robert goes, "What did you do?"
I believe that knowing Robert.
And then it came back to the surface, and the music started playing, and there's water dancing.
Well, you know, we took Bud and I took him on a float trip with a whole bunch of people. What, 3-4 weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
On a river over Missouri. And you know those float trips are full of people all the time, right? So we just literally stood on the bank and we took all of ours, turned them on, synced them so they were all playing the same music, and all chucked them out in the middle of the river and let them float down the river. They were floating upside down the river, all playing the same music at the same time at different.
I bet the fish were enjoying it.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
We got to actually test the distance, and we think it's right about 100 yards when they start to lose Bluetooth connectivity, but around there. And everybody that saw them are like, "What is that? I've never seen those before." And you know, Bud was doing his sales pitch and selling them, and here come a older than us couple down the river in a raft, and they had one. And we're like,
Yeah.
well, if young guys like us can have them, those older people can have them too. So
yeah.
that was
Must
pretty
not been
cool.
many waterfowlers on that float trip because I don't know many waterfowlers that don't know what a turtle box is.
Isn't amazing?
It's crazy,
it's-
but Turtle Box supports all of the organizations, Delta and
Yep.
Yes,
that other
yeah.
organization that I try to say it and it just won't come out.
the hat he gave you?
Yeah, the one
Okay.
that's in the bathroom now. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we ran out of toilet paper, so
That's
the hat's
okay.
in there
That's
if,
okay.
if you need the hat.
The hats
But,
were free.
you know, I appreciate you guys for being a part of what we're trying to do and supporting us. I mean, this is a small business trying to grow and get off the ground, and we can't do it without organizations that have memberships. You're our best sales teams, you know. But
We're
we
glad
have
to have somebody close and local.
we have to be genuine, you know. When we tell you we're selling a quality product, we have to be genuine in what we do, and that's why the product line around here is taking off slowly, because the three of us, we won't sell it here if we haven't truly put our heart into it.
And Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, well, I heard Rome wasn't built in a day, and then there's other rumors like Rome really wasn't built. And I'm like, okay, whatever, but.
You guys are
But
doing
then
it.
Romans
Keep
got
doing what
around.
you're doing. Because I'm going to touch on something that we were talking about a little bit earlier. You guys were talking about getting ready to start carrying a G&H. And yeah, the flat bill crowd might not like it, but I guarantee you the older crowd does. Because they've been around and they've hunted over them and they've seen their durability. And G&H was a very gracious donor to us this year as well. And it made me happy to hear you say that you're going to start carrying a G&H, because quality and personality go a long way. And they're American made.
Yep.
And they're locally owned. In my opinion, you could be at their shop in 4 hours or less now, since they moved down to Arkansas. And they're doing big things, coming out with new product as well, something that G&H hasn't done in, I don't know, for as long as I've been alive. It's been the same carvings, same paint,
Yep.
same decoys. They're doing some silhouettes now as well.
Yep.
They were gracious enough to give us a heck of a discount on those. We give 5 dozen of those away at our banquet as well. Not to mention the Trump decoy we auctioned off, which
I saw that.
that's one of the coolest decoys I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it is really cool, and we went so far as we're going to carry their sport dog line too. So their sport dog equipment's going to be available here. Their kennels, their bumpers, the training tools, everything that goes into that. You guys know I'm a dog guy, and we got to have something in here that does dog stuff. And we took one look at that stuff and went, "That's American made. That's quality. That's heavy duty. I can sell that. Jeff can sell that. Bud can sell that." I actually took a little closer look at their decoy, because I'm quality driven decoys are a big thing to me, because we beat the crap out of them. We shoot them up. We beat the crap out of them. We got to be able to reuse them. I took a closer look at G&H decoys and tried to see the value in them. And believe it or not, the mill thickness of the plastic, it's triple what the other manufacturers are. So they're not foam filled, but you can shoot them because they're a much thicker mill plastic.
And their swivel heads stay
Yep.
on and don't
Their
fall off
swivel
whenever
heads
you
stay
throw them by
on.
the head.
Yep.
We're rolling the dice here that people are going to believe in that American-made decoy and us having it here, and I'm glad to hear you say that. So thank you.
I'm a G&H fan. I believe
I 100% agree. I've got decoys that are older than my kid. They're G&H, and I still hunt over them, and every now and then still add some to the flock here and there, just because need to sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't explain why. I get laughed at all the time. Everybody blames my girlfriend
Jesse
for
has
her
a
having
decoy
a
obsession.
decoy addiction.
Don't we all?
Yeah,
But,
one
I-
thing you can never have is too many decoys. I don't
Oh
believe.
no, that's a theory of mine. Like,
I still got a whole garage full of herders.
yeah, I believe if you put out
few of those,
12, then
yeah.
tomorrow you put out 24, and the next day you put out 48, and then it's just a matter of numbers, and then eventually you're going to win just with numbers.
Yep.
But in my group, you have to have shootable decoys because
Oh, no!
occasionally,
Oh, no!
occasionally there's an
One of them in
oversight.
every crowd.
Yeah, you know, hey, I killed that one in the water. That's a fucking decoy. Oh, I shot your decoy. Okay, well, don't worry about that. It's foam filled or it's thick plastic or it's shootable. But God love him, he's our one guy in the group. So
They're too realistic.
yeah, we get the realistic ones. He shoots them up, but we picked up some other cool lines too. One of the things that I thought was very interesting, which is different, is this IHP duck call company, and we spent some time with them. Jeff spent some time with them. We're going to carry their line in our store, and it's a super high quality polycarbonate as well as acrylic duck call. They have two different versions, but Jeff's gonna, if you buy one here, Jeff's gonna custom tune them. So he's gonna tune a DU version and a Delta version, and that's how that works
The
out.
Delta
So
will sound better. I
the
promise
Delta,
you that one.
in this particular podcast, the Delta better sound better.
I'm cleaning yours with that DU hat.
Yeah.
That's about all it's good for.
That's a good one. But I know I keep saying it to guests that come on the podcast, and I'm trying to be genuine. What you see in here can only work with you guys because, you have to have an extension in waterfowl, and these benefits go a long way.
I could tell you, looking around the room, and there's not many, in fact, short of a turkey call, but what Delta organization really partners with a turkey call company? But a lot of the product you have in here already are people who donate or give us a major discount. HeliDrive, for example, they give us a very good discount on a backpack and one of their gun sticks as well, with the clip or the gun sling and the hanger, the whole kit ready to go. And they're great to deal with. They got some new product coming out as well that's incredible. And another one that you just posted online the other day, that Dirty Outerwear, man. Gonna search high and low to find a better group of people than them guys at Dirty Outerwear.
Not only are they
I'm
great,
excited for you to have that as well, except for I may need a job so I can afford to pay for everything that you're gonna start
well,
selling.
that's our goal. We want everybody to have a second and third job so they can come in and buy stuff at 6 Mile Slough. But I was pretty impressed with that outerwear and wader company, and I'm usually the pessimist. Like, I don't want to go near waders because that is a risky market to get in, and I don't want to be in the repair business or return business. And there's a lot of confidence in their product and their warranty versions, and it's literally days away from being in this store. In fact, Bud cleared one whole side of the store off because that's where it's all going to be. And once we have it, I got to get people in here to buy it, and prove to you guys this is high quality, good stuff. So
Me and Jeff talked, though, it should be on the other side of the store.
okay, well, I'll let him and Bud fight it out. They can.
You want to arm wrestle, Ben?
They can fight it out. I was pretty impressed with it, and more than anything, I was impressed with the owner of the company because he really spent the time with us.
Oh, he walked us through.
And he cares.
everything-
And he cares,
everything.
G&H's owner is the same, new owner's the same
Yeah,
way.
they
You can
care.
tell whenever you talk to them, they care.
Yep.
They're not just trying to make a sale. They explain their product to you. Heck, he talked to us, I'm gonna go to G&H and I'll come back. But, we talked to that guy from G&H for probably 45 minutes just about the Trump decoy alone and the history of why they created that decoy. Because they created the Trump decoy because Trump's trying to bring manufacturing back to America. And they said that's something they could stand behind, and all of us in this room, I'm pretty sure would agree, it's something we could all stand
Yeah,
behind.
absolutely.
Is bring manufacturing
100%.
back to America.
Yeah,
And that alone sold me on G&H.
yeah. I'm definitely putting one of those Trump decoys right in the center of my spread to prove that you can kill ducks even with Trump in your spread. So
There you go.
we're gonna put it right there. But
And then going to Dirty Outerwear, I found one of their turkey vests. We were gonna use it for the banquet, and I
Stay
asked
calm.
the salesman, I told him that our banquet was the following weekend after Expo, and if we could work out a deal, and he said, hold on, come over here with me, I want you to talk to this guy, and he took me over and introduced me to the owner. And the owner's like, don't stand up and talk to me, I'm sitting down, you sit here next to me and let's talk. So I sat there for probably 15 or 20 minutes talking to him, and he was very gracious in the donation he gave us for the chapter. And then we got to talking about the waders, and he was telling me about their new youth wader line they've got coming out as well.
yeah.
And the program they're going to do for kids, it's second to none. I don't think that they're going to blow the market away, in my opinion, with the quality of wader and the programs that they're running. These other guys better step up or get out, because dirty outerwear is coming to town, and it's coming in on the fast train.
I think we
Absolutely.
chose well, and you know, it was literally almost a booth I walked by. I almost walked by it, and Jeff and Bud said, "Stop, put a anchor out, and walk in here and look at this." And I said, "All right." So we went in there and looked
That's
at
because
it.
Jeff saw it say doing it dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I looked at their waders first, and I was like, these are like pretty quality. But we've been at all the other.
That's
waders.
because they have short guy waders too.
They
I
do.
believe.
The youth.
They fit it like you're buying a suit.
you're number one today, Bud.
Yeah. Or number 2, depending
Yeah.
on how you.
Whatever, I'll take it.
I thought I was number one. What's going on here?
Well, I could hand out number ones all day long.
Yeah, I think I got a pocket full of them.
I think we're going to be really careful what we choose. I think everybody's going to like it, and they're going to understand the mentality behind it. But you know, if it can be made in America, we want it in the store.
And we
And
also
that's-
are hunters as well, so we want to make sure we give back to the hunters as well, and for anybody and everybody. So we pick products that we can give back to the community and provide the best gear, because you know, we want everybody to succeed, and we believe in our products.
Now, if we can find something that's fireproof,
Oh,
100%
Yeah,
will be
we
in the
put-
store.
Oh.
So if it's fireproof,
If somebody makes a fireproof bubble wrap
yes.
that
So,
we could just wrap Bud up in.
you know,
Yeah.
in case
That would-
someone were to decide to catch fire, their equipment would be fireproof.
maybe they have fireproof waders. Maybe they can
Haven't
come up with
found
Wouldn't
that.
that be like a fireman's suit?
I could wear that. That's a good idea. I could do that.
Look at the idea that came out of the podcast.
Yeah.
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 Seen
Well,
many
that-
waders go against Mr. Heater and not come out so well in pits and lines.
Well, they come out. In fact, it takes a little bit for it to really flame up on a person whenever
Yeah.
you've leaned up against it too
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
and-
Maybe next time we'll wait for the community to come and put him out.
Exactly.
Ouch. That really burned.
Just adds that better ventilation's all.
That's, you know what, actually, I don't promote this product or anything like that, but I use Flex Seal to make sure they didn't leak. It actually really works for your waders.
And
So.
it's highly flammable too, from what I hear.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. That's
Yeah.
probably a bad idea.
They'll burn better the
It
second
kind
time.
of melts as it
Oh,
burns.
no. I didn't think about that.
You
Good
know,
point.
everybody watching is probably going, "What are they talking about?" Well, if you look at a previous podcast, you'll get the entire story of what exactly happened. But if waders were fireproof, we would have them here in this shop for sure. And I can assure you,
tested.
somebody to my direct right would be the first person to purchase them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
He ran to the front of the blind after we shot into some ducks. And, you know, Rick and I had already sat back down, and we're just looking at Bud because he's leaning on one of the buddy heaters like this. And he's like, "I'm on fire." And I'm like, "You're smoking?"
See, when you're
And then-
tall and the
we-
heaters
Rick
are
and I
down here,
discussed
you
it
kind
for
of
another
forget about
30
it.
seconds. Should we tell him? Oh, I don't know. So he was literally on fire before we decided to actually tell him.
Whoops.
Yeah, Bud,
Whoops.
you're on fire. I know.
That's what he
No,
said.
no.
I know I'm on fire. Well,
No,
I
Bud,
don't think you
you're on
understand what
fire.
Jeff's saying to you. So, and there's one more thing coming to the store. I mean, there's a lot of littler things coming to the store, but one of them is kind of passionate to me because of the younger generation. But we picked up Prodigy, and we also picked up another line of boats.
Yeah.
And I'll put that out on the Facebook page, but we've got an American-made boat company coming to us, and we're going to have a display model here on the parking lot for those guys that like to hunt public areas and the shallow waters and the mud buddy type motors. I'll make that announcement on Facebook, but during this podcast, know that it's an American-made boat, and
Awesome.
if
Wait a
it,
minute.
it should get,
I lost my parking spot.
you lost your parking spot weeks ago. You just didn't know it.
Go fun, bud. I need a parking spot.
Yeah, and
I think there's one at No Jacks.
they got one specifically. The owner comes up here and delivers food on Tuesday nights, and he's like, "Okay, guys, I'm back." Comes in the door with his food. So, but I know you guys put a lot of effort into your chapter. I can see it. In talking to you guys, I know how passionate you are about what you're doing, and that takes a lot more than most people give credit for. So hats off to you guys. I know the heart and soul you put into it. You're not doing it for the money. I mean, you have a passionate reason to do it, and we share that passion in our industry, which is why we're doing this business, and we hope it succeeds, and it has to succeed with the help of you and other organizations. So thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you. And I'm a big supporter for Deltawaterfowl, and I really appreciate all you guys do. You guys do make a huge difference on conservation and the waterfowl, and so thank you guys for all the hard work and everything you do out there to help the generation of waterfowl. So you can't thank the Deltawaterfowl and the local chapter. You guys are amazing, and so thank you for all you do. It's not easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that we let you guys know that, we actually put a lot of thought into what we were going to do with the organizations. The three of us have met multiple nights to talk about this, and it was genuine. I mean, we talked. We said, we need the support of both organizations because they both have strengths, they both have weaknesses. How are we going to do this the right way? And the three of us, we jointly decided that we're going to have a DU ambassador and we're going to have a Deltawaterfowl ambassador, and we're going to put our efforts into both organizations, and here's why. Both of you are extremely successful at what you do, and you have your piece of what you do in this hobby, and you don't seem to overlap one another, which is amazing. To me, it's amazing. I have multiple businesses. To see you guys not overlap blows me away as a business owner. And you have respect for one another, and that goes a long way in organizations and businesses, respecting one another. And the other organization has a significant amount of respect for you guys, and I hear you guys talk about your respect for the other organization. So we have a plan here to support you guys and the other organization as good as this company can do. And that's what it's going to be, as good as this company can do.
And I could tell you, we're going to keep supporting you guys because we try and take care of everybody that takes care of us, and you guys were generous. I mean, you just got open and you donated a turtle box and multiple t-shirts and hats and one of them amazing fishing shirts that you have. And I can speak for myself for sure. If anybody listening to this is wondering, come in here and check this store out.
Pretty cool,
There's
isn't
a
it?
lot to see, and
Absolutely.
like I said earlier, I don't know that they hardly carry a product that hasn't supported us in some way, shape, or form. Higdon's been a long-time Delta sponsor or supporter, and Hella Dry, Turtle Box, Dirty's Outerwear, G&H. I mean, Dirty's Outerwear, G&H were first-year supporters this year, but I guarantee you, whenever we see them at Expo next year, it'll be the same way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're that type of companies. They want to see the small guys do
Yep.
well as well.
Yep.
And we also have another brand. It's called Dirty Duck Coffee.
Oh, I forgot about Dirty Duck Coffee. They've
It's
been
a staple in our duck blind. It's good
it's a
stuff.
staple at our banquet too. They've been a big time supporter since we've been doing Squad Fest, because that's whenever I believe we discovered it the first time was
Yes,
the
it
first
was.
year at Squad Fest.
Yep, we'll be carrying that here. They should be coming here soon, and we'll have a little coffee bar in the lounge area, and we'll have a little mini fridge. So you guys, if you need coffee, come out, check out the Dirty Duck Coffee. It's amazing coffee.
They got a line of, this is really
That'll give-
cool. They got a line of energy drinks coming out now, cold energy drinks, and we're gonna have a cooler here with all that. And I'm not a big fan of energy drinks as I'm in the older generation, but the guys in the mid-20s and 30s, man, they just, I don't even know.
They
drink
live
three.
for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they live
two
for
or
'em,
three a day, every day.
That's
Well,
gonna.
you guys carrying Dirty Duck Coffee, I'm really gonna need a job because my missus loves Dirty Duck Coffee.
So, Bud, we just
Thanks for
expanded our
costing me a
hours
whole
by
lot
4
more.
more hours. So
Great.
we'll have Ben working in here 4 hours and you working in here 4 hours, and we got
Deal.
8 hours out of a day. And
All right, let's
Jeff and
go.
I can go hunting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa. See how they do us dirty?
I get the afternoon shift. You gotta work the morning shift.
Yeah.
Deal.
That way I could go hunt with them in the morning.
Yeah.
I could deer hunt in the evening. Sure.
So,
Oh, look at that. You already got it all worked out.
so this is a true story. It is kind of funny, but so I was sitting around with my dad. I spent a lot of time with my dad, you know, and he's a serious duck hunter like Jeff's dad and our dads. And we're talking about the story. He's like, "This is a great idea, Rick. This is going to fly in this area. Waterfowlers have been wanting it for a while. It'll work. You just got to be patient and build up your clientele." And then he was real serious and he says, "So what's going to happen on the weekends?" And I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, how are you going to hunt?" And like this little light bulb went off into my head, like, "Oh crap, how am I going to hunt? I can't be at the store and hunt and do this all the same." And he whispers in my ear, he says, "Get Bud to do it." Guess what?
Hey, Bud, you want to open a sporting goods store?
They didn't put that. That was in the fine print that you didn't read.
I didn't read that. I
Just
should have
whispered, "Get Bud to do it." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea." So,
No, what you guys got going on here is great.
Very much so. It's refreshing to have something like this, like Ben said, locally again. Love the American-made, the veteran-owned businesses. I think that's going to go a long ways to help sell your products. Just someplace like this, even for us, last minute before our banquet, because we never know exactly what we're getting from Delta. We have a good idea, but we never know exactly what it's going to look like when it shows up in the national package, and we don't know what we're going to pick up other places and get donated. We always need filler items, so we have to go shopping. This is going to be really convenient for Ben to come in here, or myself, whoever, but since
well,
Ben's
Ben
chairman now, I
says
get to
Ben
not
says
be
he's going to
so
have to
upset.
work 3 jobs because of this place, so he's going to be pretty busy.
Well, at least for that, we're
Two of them will probably be
shopping
here.
with the Delta budget for that part, so.
2 of the 3. All right,
Yeah.
that works.
So, you know, I don't know if somebody had an excavator. I'm a bartering guy. I like to barter excavating, but that's just another point. But I can hear my wife listening to this going, "Don't you dare do any more dirt work." So,
Dirt work
Well, me and
equates
Jesse's
to
are
more
going, you
water,
guys
which
better not come
equates
home
to
with
more
more decoys.
pumping, which equates to more money.
I made the mistake taking my wife to my farm one time, and I wanted to show her all the stuff we had done over the years and this and that, and we pull up and there's the, excuse my French, there's the goddamn trailer with the track hoe and a mini skid steer on the back of it, and it's sitting right next to our tiny house. And she goes, "What is that?" And I went,
That's the neighbors.
"That's the neighbors." And she went, "Well, why is it on our property?" And I said, "I don't know, let me get out." So I got out, and the guy that was running it comes walking over to me, and he says, "I'm getting ready to unload the equipment." About that time, my wife got out of the car, and she goes, "Unload it where?" And he goes, "I'm unloading it right here. I got to go down there and rip all them trees out and extend that levee." And I went, like this. I got an ass chewing that night that I haven't gotten in a long time. She's like, "Could you just have warned me?" I said, "No." So that's, what do I call that? Forgiveness?
Yes.
It's easier to
Forgiveness
ask
prior
for
to
forgiveness
permission.
than
Yeah,
permission.
I'm very
Yep.
guilty of that. You know, like you said, don't come home with any more decoys. Same problem I got. I just don't ship them to home now.
Yeah, you just don't send them home.
You know, I got a store to ship them to.
I don't know that I've shipped any decoys to Ben's office yet.
Do it.
I've shipped other stuff there. I don't know about decoys.
Well, the handy part about that is there's somebody there 24/7. So
The way I look at it. Guys, thanks for coming on the podcast tonight. I know taking time out of your evenings, you guys had some things going on. We truly appreciate it. We truly
everything you
appreciate
do.
it. Everything you guys are
greatly
doing.
appreciate
and
all you do.
look,
Thank
look
you very
forward
much
to
for the
doing more
invite.
with you.
we thank you guys for having us, and I want to say one more time, thank you to all of our donors and patrons of our banquet as well, and thank you guys for donating to our banquet and helping us to have as successful of a banquet as what we had.
You bet. We can only do it together. So thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
2003, and of course our Sport Dog Team of the Year.
That's how they qualified for this year's championship.
You get that short right first.
He's going by it. He's actually going to drive by that bird and go to the long right-hand side of the flower pot. If this works out, this could be the way to run it.
Bud throw them in the trash can so they don't know he was here already.
From the,